got 2 new releases from the house of Lorenzo Pazzaglia. First one we are going to be talking about is K Chamba. There it is. Hopefully you all can see that. And then the next one is Speachless from Lorenzo Pazzaglia. Hopefully you all can see that. They're both up for full review today. Let's talk about them. The fragrance that we're going to be starting out with first is Speachless. So Speachless here, this has gotten a little bit more hype than K Chamba. I've been seeing Speachless talked about a little bit more. With this scent here, it is going to be a fruity, fresh, green. Also, too, you might get a little citrus tones. I get a little bit of that in the fragrance here. But when you spray this one first on, this is going to be your big blast of those fruits, of that citrus. I will say this is a very sweet fragrance as well. Some notes in the fragrance, you're going to get some peach. It's got some lemon. It's got some tea in it. In the base, there's some woods. There's some vanilla. A lot of notes with Speachless here. But when you first spray it on, the scent, it's going to be like a bag of Skittles. A bag of Skittles. And then once it kind of dries down after that first 5 to 10 minutes, it kind of reminds me more of like a gummy bear, sweet type of fruity cocktail. If you put like a candied cocktail, that's what this one reminds me of. I don't really get any of that tea in the opening of the scent. I get more of the peach too, and I get a little bit of nectar or nectarine. I think nectarine has a note as well. I get some of that. I smell that kind of fruitiness with the scent. I don't get too much of that citrus, maybe in the first 5 to 10 minutes, even 15, 20 minutes. The citrus I am most prominently getting in this is that lemon. That lemon is the thing. It kind of calms down the sweetness a little bit, takes off the sharpness of the sweetness from the scent here. But in the first, I would say 2 to 3 hours, this is a very big, fruity, sweet, fresh bomb. Very uplifting with the freshness, how it comes across with the scent. But with this scent here, like I said, it's going to remind me of a fruity cocktail. This is going to be one that is a mass appealing scent in the sense that a man or a woman can wear it, and that sweetness would work perfectly for you, and you would get a little booziness with that cocktail aspect of the scent. I think what gives that off is that note of absinthe. That is in the scent as well. But I don't know what absinthe smells like. It just gives it that kind of cocktail feeling with the sweetness of this. This is going to be, for me, an all year round type of scent. It might be more suited for that fall and summertime, but you could wear this. It's got enough depth with the woods in the base and with that vanilla that you can wear this in the fall and the winter time, and it'll do just fine. It'll do well. Performance on the scent here on Speachless. This one is going to be about, I would say, 3 to 4 hours on that projection. You got to know with Lorenzo Pazzaglia's scents, they're all extraits de parfums, at least the ones I've tried. The longevity is excellent with this scent. Even it's fruit-focused, sweet type of scent, fresh type of scent, that longevity, I was getting it into the next day. And I've been giving this scent a good amount of wears. I'm halfway through the sample here I got. So, this scent overall changed on me a lot. When you wear Lorenzo Pazzaglia's fragrances, at first, my nose can usually only pick up a few notes because, like I mentioned, it's got like a big note breakdown. And I wasn't even picking up any of the freshness, any of the citrusness with the scent when I first sprayed this on. I just got all fruits. It smelled like peach. There was some woods in it. And then there was also, too, some florals. I get a little rose in this as well. I get that rose in the mid as it dries down. And then I get a vanilla base. That's all I was getting. But once I sprayed it on more and more and more, gave it some wears. It's on my left hand right now. I'm getting more of that fruit cocktail essence. I'm getting more of the fruits coming out. Less I'm getting the peach, of course, but I am getting nectarine, and I think there is lychee in here. I'm getting a little bit of that lychee, but the citrus, there's supposed to be citron in this. Maybe I'm getting the lemon or the citron, and I think there's grapefruit in it as well. I don't get any of the grapefruit. The citrus I get is that lemon, and it kind of takes off the sharpness of the sweetness of the scent here. Speachless from the house of Lorenzo Pazzaglia, I feel like is one of the more mass appealing options you can get from the house right now. It is an excellent job of blending all those notes and making it into that fruity cocktail. In that mid, I will say I'm getting more of a rose, and then I get more of an herbal feel as well with the scent. This has got supposedly cannabis in here, but I can't smell that cannabis note. That's in the base. But in that mid, I get a little bit more of a rose, herbal, aromatic tinge in the mid of the scent here, which the fruits kind of take a step back. There is still a little sweetness. There is still a little of those fruits, but mainly I am getting the rose popping out more and more with some woodiness, and then I'm getting some sweetness from that vanilla. And the vanilla, this scent dries down into a woody kind of vanilla type of scent for me overall. I do get a little a little freshness still sticks around till the very end of the scent, but the best way I can describe this is a fruity kind of skittle cocktail, and then it dries down into kind of a rose, herbal, aromatic type of scent that can be worn in anywhere, like anytime, any day, and it'll do just fine. But you got to remember, with the Lorenzo scents, you got to give them time. You got to give them time, because if your nose is new, the niche fragrances, your nose is new to a lot of those notes and accords. And this happens to me with Roja Dove as well. I have to give it time. I can't just say off first rip, oh, this is excellent, or oh, this is good. I got to keep giving it wears and wears and wears. Really sit with the scent, and that's what I did with Speachless here. And it has grown on me. I'm still debating on where it ranks on my Lorenzo Pazzaglia fragrances. I will say as of now, it's not beating Sun-gria, the one I have reviewed. Maybe it's equal for Summer Hammer to me. I know all three of these are in the same line, Speechless, Summer Hammer, and Sun-gria. But if you're looking for that fruity cocktail with an herbal, aromatic, rose, and then with a vanilla dry down with some woods backing it up, and I do get a little sense of an amber tone in this scent as well, just in the base when it dries down more and more. And you want something that's fresh and kind of gives you not a masculine, I would say, but a very perfect unisex fruity fragrance. This would be the one to check out, because sometimes a lot of fruity fragrances can go too full bore feminine, or they can go leaning a little bit more masculine. I feel like this one is perfectly unisex for a guy or a woman to pull off. And overall, if you want a scent that kind of takes you for a roller coaster, this one does it for me, with that sweetness, with that freshness, and then it changes into that herbal, aromatic type of feel with the scent here. And that longevity, like I mentioned, is excellent. It goes into the next day, that projection, 3 to 4 hours. I would say this one's a little bit closer than the other scents from the house for me. Summer Hammer and Sun-gria, the other two I have reviewed. I got a whole bunch of other Lorenzo Pazzaglia fragrances I haven't reviewed on the channel, but for this one, it's probably in the in-between. It's not that beast mode, and it's not the worst one from the house with the projection standpoint. Longevity, it's on par with the rest of the fragrances. So, Speechless from Lorenzo Pazzaglia. Nice release for the year 2025, excuse me. And if you're looking for a Skittles cocktail, peachy, fruity type of scent, really focused on a fruit-forward scent, then Speechless from the house would be one to check out. Now, let's hop into K Chamba. Let's talk about K Chamba now. Focus our attention to this one. This was the second sample from the house I got on the new releases. I think he's got like 2 or 3 other releases this year. I want to try one of them. It looks like a gourmandish type of scent. And then one's a very green scent, and then there's one more, I forget. But let's focus on K Chamba here. K Chamba, in that opening, you're going to get a big blast of guava. And it is a guava juice. Kind of going with the sense of, if I'm going back to Speechless here, they both give off a juice vibe when it comes to those fruits that they use. But this one is strictly guava. And I will say, with the Speechless scent on the juicy side of things, it does give off that peach, but this one is focused on that guava juice. K Chamba guava juice. Speechless, I would say peach juice if I had to put my finger to it. Overall, in that opening, it's going to be the same as Speechless in a sense that that fruitiness sticks around for or I would say in a sense with the fruitiness here, it's going to be similar to the citrusness from Speechless. So it only sticks around for, I would say, the first maybe 30 minutes to an hour of the scent that guava juice comes out. And then the other things in K Chamba start coming out, such as clove. This is a very heavy clove scent to me. I really smell that. Also, there's star anise. I don't know what star anise really is. Haven't really smelled that, but I get a big blast of clove with this too. Guava's in that opening as well. Those are the main two players in that opening for me. But as this scent dries down, it does get a little bit more woody. It gets warm. It gets a licorice vibe as well. I will say I get some amber throughout the scent, and I get those woods are coming out. This is a very woody scent. It kind of reminds me of if you look at like wood, for example, and you put the wood in front of you, the wood's the base. And then you kind of pour stuff on top of the wood. That's what this one kind of reminds me of a little bit, but it's got that licorice vibe. I will say the licorice is very different to a sense that you'd think of grown, like mature type of scents, like Dior Sauvage Elixir. It doesn't use the licorice in any sort of way the same in the two scents. This one's got more of a tropical vibe. K Chamba's got more of a tropical vibe, warm spice, woody type of flair with it. And I will mention clove heavy type of scent for me with that licorice kind of in the backbone playing around. And the fruits after that, I would say first 15 to 30, even an hour, they go away. There's no more of that guava for me. It's solely that warmth, little tropicalness. And then also too, you do get the vibe of a fresh and warm spice. I get that a lot with K Chamba here. It kind of reminds me of a scent that would do well on a lighter summer day, like 60 or 70 degrees outside. This one would do well. But same as Speechless, you could wear this one all year round. It's got enough of that depth, enough of that warmth to it that it's not going to be too overbearing in the summertime, but it's not going to be too light for it only last a few hours in that winter time. I will say between the two K Chamba and Speechless is way more fresh. This one is way more deeper in a sense. Less freshness, more tropical feel with this. Overall, they both dry down though very similarly in a sense. Woods, I get that vanilla. The vanilla is going to be from the sweetness from this. I think they got two different types of vanilla in both scents, but they both kind of dry down into that sweet vanilla that Lorenzo Pazzaglia is kind of known for overall if you've tried any of his scents. And I will say overall with this one on the dry down compared to Speechless, I get a little musky undertones. With K Chamba, I don't really get any of that musk. It's going to be more focused solely on the woods and the spices in that dry down with a little vanilla to round out that sweetness. Overall, K Chamba, this is going to be for your person that wants something of that, like with Speechless, that's something that wants full-born fruity sweetness. K Chamba is somebody that wants a kind of, not a sprinkle, but wants that sweetness on the outskirts of the scent and wants something that's a little bit more mature, less playful. This is less playful than Speechless. This is more kind of, I would say, from the house of Lorenzo Pazzaglia of all the fragrance I've tried. A little bit more grown up than your usual playful type of scents when it comes to Summer Hammer, Sun-gria, and Speechless. Those kind of go on a different vibe. Those are more flirtatious, playful. This is more mature, more spicy, more grown up if I had to look at the house. But if you are looking for that kind of Lorenzo Pazzaglia DNA, how he uses that vanilla, and you want a similar vibe to kind of those scents that he does, like I mentioned, Summer Hammer, Sun-gria, you know, that tropical feel, tropical essence. You want a little grown up, mature tinge. Check out K Chamba because you do get that licorice. If you enjoy licorice, you will enjoy this scent. You gotta like your clove though. This is a very clove heavy scent for me overall. And it does transform, like I mentioned, you do get that guava juice through the opening of the fragrance, and then in that mid, I'm getting more woody, spicy kind of tones with some clove as well. And then in that dry down, the sweetness kind of changes from that fruity sweetness to a vanilla sweetness, going with some amber feel to it as well. And then I do get, when this fragrance is drying down, I do get some freshness, but it's fresh spice. It's not freshness like you would get from Speachless. This one's going into that more fresh spice realm. On the longevity of this one, excellent. Got into the next day, 12 plus hours, same with Speachless. On that projection, this one is going to be, I would say, 3 to 4 hours again. And overall, they both sit pretty close to the skin. Off my wearings, I'm wearing K Chamba on the right hand. I would say K Chamba is stronger than Speachless. After those 3 or 4 hours, this is getting a little bit more pumping off the skin than Speachless. But you got to recognize with K Chamba, it's got more kind of heavier notes that take it over the line compared to Speachless, when Speachless is more focused on a strict kind of freshness, no spices, more fruity sweetness. This one is more focused on that amber, woody, vanilla type of sweetness, even though you do get that vanilla sweetness in Speachless overall. But these two are very nice scents from the house. I really enjoyed my wearings with them, trying them out, getting them out there and everything. And I'll have to come back to them in the wintertime because, like I mentioned, I feel like these are year-round type of scents. Nice appeal to them. This one's got good warmth to it. Speachless has got good freshness to it overall. And the spiciness, the way K Chamba comes off, it's nice for me. It does well. But again, you got to remember, with Lorenzo Pazzaglia's fragrances, I'm going to quote this, you got to give them time. Because first time I wore both of these fragrances, I wasn't getting much. I wasn't really enjoying them. I wasn't really liking them. And these two both took time to grow on me. So if you kind of want a fragrance, especially K Chamba here, if you want a fragrance that you haven't really smelled much of, like, you know, a lot of people say, oh, there's a lot of clones out there. There's a lot of dupes. There's a lot of fragrances that are very similar. The A, B, and C. Well, K Chamba and Speachless do a nice job of kind of changing the game a little bit, not making it really a dupe of something, because both of these scents here, again, from the house, I haven't really smelled anything like K Chamba or Speachless overall. Like, Speachless might be a little bit more familiar to people than K Chamba. I feel like K Chamba goes in a different route. It's very tropical, very different how they handle things with this scent here, and I haven't smelled anything like K Chamba. I have, like, you can take bits and pieces of Speachless because of that fruitiness, and you can say, oh, it smells like this, smells like that a little bit, but overall, Speachless is kind of unique as well in its own right. So, hopefully you all can do your own research and see if these are worth a sample, fragrances from the house of Lorenzo Pazzaglia, because I really like to take a deep dive in this house because all the notes it gives you, and it takes me through a roller coaster. Really gets the gears going, really trying to figure out, oh, what am I smelling here? What am I doing? Because he blends it nicely, takes all this stuff and blends this fragrance very nicely, all of them that he does, because he puts a lot of notes in there. But they do create an experience overall, and I do enjoy that. That's a nice job of perfumery there, when you can create a picture in somebody's head and kind of pinpoint things here and there. And Lorenzo Pazzaglia does a good job, especially with the more tropical, beachy type of boozy type of scents. He knows how to redefine them well to get his point across overall, get his story across with the scents. And Lorenzo Pazzaglia, I gotta give you a thumbs up for that one. But let me know in the comments down below what's your favorite Lorenzo Pazzaglia fragrance. I'll be very interested to hear. And if you are interested in K Chamba or Speechless, make sure you get you a sample before you go deep diving into a full bottle. You know, just do smart buying, okay? Don't put yourself in a bad place. Make sure you got the money. Make sure you can spend on fragrances, because sometimes, even myself, I've been caught in that trap, like, oh, do I need that? You don't need a fragrance, but it's always good to, if you're with the hobby and everything like that, always try it out first, especially these niche ones because they are expensive. Even the designers now are getting expensive, yo. So basically all I'm just trying to say is be smart with the money. Don't let the fragrance take over overall. So, but yeah, that is my review of K Chamba and Speachless from the house of Lorenzo Pazzaglia. I appreciate everybody spending a little time of their day with me on the review today. Definitely want to check out the the other two or three new releases from the house of Lorenzo Pazzaglia. And don't leave just yet though, because my fragrance playlist will be at the end of this video, along with a video that the algorithm thinks that you need to watch. Now, I hope you all stay healthy, be positive, stay true, take care.